Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Kathy with Healthy Ambitions, and today I'm going to show you a recipe that has become nearly a weekly staple in my household. I'm going to show you how to make the best keto low-carb meatballs. Now, these are Italian meatballs, and it's the same recipe as I used in my keto Italian wedding soup, which I made using my keto couscous. If you have not seen that video or would like to, I'll make sure to link that in the description box below. If you have seen that video, you've already seen this meatball recipe, so if you would love to keep watching just to give me my viewership and engagement, awesome, thank you very much. But maybe you're not a soup person, maybe you just want a good meatball recipe. Well, these Italian meatballs are amazing. In fact, after creating them and making them for my wedding soup, I have made these every week since I made the soup video, just to have the meatballs by themselves or add into like with some marinara sauce on top of some keto noodles. You could also make get some keto bread and make like a hoagie out of them, or honestly, most of what we do is just eat them by themselves with a side of vegetables. So most meatball recipes I see, maybe they're just turkey meatballs or they're just beef meatballs. And what I discovered is that a dual meat meatball, whether it's a meatball or meatloaf or something like that, actually having something combined with beef ends up making the absolute best end product flavor. You still got that beef flavor, but you got some added moisture in with the other meats, and it's amazing. So the other reason I'm showing you this video, and I'm making a video on its own, so I know fancy recipes are fun, right? Like we love making like the strawberry swirl cheesecake or the bread ring dip or all these cookies for Christmas and everything. But the thing is, that's not how I'm necessarily eating every single day. Every single day eating for me is much simpler, way fewer ingredients. And so that's kind of what I want to get out to you guys a little bit more this year, is to show you recipes that I'm actually eating on a weekly or bi-monthly basis, the things that are really the staple for our meals in this house. Because honestly, I love cheesecake, is one of my favorite desserts, but it is a special occasion dessert. Probably the only dessert that we make on a regular basis, like all the time, is ice cream. And I have lots of ice cream videos and recipes on my website. But as far as the meals, usually it is as simple as a meat, barely seasoned, and a veggie roasted in the oven. That is pretty much the scope of my day-to-day eating. So these are great to batch cook. I forget how many meatballs it makes. Wait, does it tell me here? We'll count them once I get them spooned out. But it's going to be 2 pounds worth of meat used. So you're going to be looking at about 8 total servings. Again, this is great to make ahead on the weekend, and you can grab and go and heat up as you want to throughout the week. And everything is going to go into a single bowl to mix it up. And then I'm going to spoon it out onto, real quick, I've got a baking pan covered in foil and then covered with a grate. That's going to allow some air circulation underneath the meatballs so they get evenly cooked all the way around, and you don't have one side a little bit more brown than the other. This is this is the best way to cook like wings or meatballs or that kind of stuff if you're not doing it in like an air fryer, because sadly I don't have an air fryer. I know I'm like a food blogger, and I don't have an air fryer, and I don't have an Instapot. Like I probably should add those to my kitchen supplies just so I can make more recipes for you guys. All right, let's head over to the bowl. We're gonna dump everything in there, and I'm gonna show you all the ingredients for these amazing and the best keto meatballs. All right, like I said, everything's gonna go into a single bowl. I have measured out. I have 1 pound of ground pork and 1 pound of ground beef. If you don't eat pork, I know a lot of people don't, you could just do a pound of ground turkey instead. I think it would still work out very good, because that's what I do on my meatloaf. In addition to the meat, of course, you do need a binder where you're just using almond flour, and that will be a 1/2 cup of almond flour. We're also going to use some Parmesan cheese. I have shredded cheese here. You're going to want about a 1/3 cup of the Parmesan cheese, but my 1/3 cup scoop is a little dirty, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it in this 1/2 cup scoop. Oh, that's about right. Beyond that, we are going to use 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of an Italian seasoning. These are Italian meatballs, so I'm using Italian seasoning. If you don't like Italian seasoning, you can leave that out. And then I'll just salt and pepper it to taste. You know, about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of either one of these. I tend to like my stuff pretty salty, so if you do too, then, you know, go crazy with the salt. And then there's only one way to mix up meatballs and the hamburger meat, and that's with your hands. I promise I wash my hands. You just want to get this good and mixed up, knead it all together till all the ingredients are fully combined. Y'all, I completely forgot the egg. We also need 1 egg that is also going to act as a binding agent. I was almost done mixing and now I get to do it again. I'm going to use it's like a 1.5 inch cookie scoop to make the meatballs. And that's mainly going to get just to measure them out, but I will ball them up butter once they are on the tray. All right, my trays of meatballs are done. I'm gonna put them in the oven at 400 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. And then we'll eat them throughout the week. A few things I did want to note on these meatballs. So these, in addition to just being good by themselves, they're great going in soups. Again, this is 8 servings. I just made 35 meatballs. So we're looking at between 8 and 9 servings. Of course, if you make your meatballs smaller or you make them larger, then just divide the final number of meatballs by 8, and that is how much is going to be in a serving. These are also great. So we have the Super Bowl coming up right now. It is January 9th at the time of recording this video. Super Bowl parties are happening in about a month. I know a big popular dish that have at Super Bowl parties are like your crock pot meatballs. And those are wonderful. Most people just buy the store-bought frozen meatballs because it's convenient and it's easy to make the crock pot meatballs with the barbecue sauce. Unfortunately, if you look at the ingredient list on those frozen meatballs, most of them do contain some form of wheat and gluten, and so they're not really keto compliant. These meatballs are. So in addition to just normal eating throughout the week and the year, these also work great for that very yummy and popular party side dish of meatballs. In a crock pot, just add in your favorite low carb and keto approved barbecue sauce when you do so. All right guys, we'll come back in about 20 minutes and check them out. All right, the meatballs have been in for 15 minutes and they look good. If you like them a little bit more done, you can leave them in for a full 20, but I'm pulling these out. So I know some people get a little squeamish about making sure pork is done all the way, and so if you're unsure, just grab you an instant read kitchen thermometer and stick it right there into the middle of it. You want pork to be at 145 degrees Fahrenheit to say that they are done. And this one is 147. Actually, it keeps going up. They got up to 150, so these are definitely done. We are good to go on that. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you on the next video.